How hard is it to beat on earnings every quarter, year after year after year? Turns out really hard. I keep a list of the stocks that I find that have perfect earnings track records over the last 5 years, minimum 5 years. And that list is taped to my desk, and it's been getting smaller and smaller because it's not easy to do. I would say there's only a couple dozen companies at most out of the stocks that we monitor here at Zacks that are actually beating every quarter consistently. So I put together a video here of 5 of the best of the charts that I like to watch. These ones are the perfect earnings all-stars, and they're going to be reporting this earnings season, so you're going to want to tune in and see if they can keep this track record going. But otherwise, their charts are, for the most part, pretty spectacular here. Let's get right to it to see who's in this group and who fits into this really unique category. Okay, so the first one is a little bit of a cheater one, but I like it anyways. PayPal, they do have obviously the perfect record, but they only went IPO in 2015. They were spun off of eBay, remember? But still, they've managed to put together that beat record since then. Shares really soared in 2017, kind of haven't gone anywhere in 2018, but held on to most of their gains, even with this big sell-off at the end of the year. So I gotta kind of like that. So investors just kind of holding on and waiting to see what happens this year in 2019. But PayPal, perfect record, and interesting company going forward here. Then we're going to switch over to Abbott Labs. Now, I would not have put this one in this category only a year or two ago because, as you can see, even though they had the earnings track record of beating, shares were pretty much stalled. But then they started taking off in 2017, ditto for 2018, and again, just like PayPal, they haven't really seen the big pullback like a lot of stocks. So I consider this to be one of the best of the big drug stocks. Their last miss was actually all the way back in 2007. I had to go back in the Zacks data, which you can do on this chart on Zacks.com. And so that's pretty impressive because they did not miss even during the Great Recession. So kudos, hats off to Abbott Labs. Of course, past performance does not tell you what's going to happen in the future, but this is just tremendous management because a lot has happened in those years in between there, 12 years of beating, basically. Then let's switch over to another healthcare stock. This is also one of my favorites, but this is on the insurance side, and it is United Health Group, UNH. And we all know that these stocks have soared since Obamacare was enacted, but it's been a lot of years since Obamacare, so I had to look up this one too. It has not missed since 2008, so right during the Great Recession, it did miss. That was before Obamacare, or ACA as it's also known, came into effect. But you can see shares have just been off to the races the last 5 years, and we've seen a little bit of pullback along with the rest of the market here in this one here at the end of 2018. But is this all we're going to get? We'll see if it bounces off of this level, but just a tremendous chart and one of the best on the street. Then switching over to the semiconductors. Now, I picked Lam Research, and I know some of you are thinking, but Tracy, it's down big. And it is, because this is a cyclical name. But a lot of the semis have these great track records, as this one does. I had to go back and look, but they last missed in 2012. So it's been a while for Lam as well. So it's not easy, again, to do this every year, year after year after year, especially with their kind of conditions in the semis. But that's telegraphing great communication with the analysts who cover the company and with the street here, that they're able to produce this kind of result. But again, those shares are down, but they're still, over the last 2 years, up almost 27% versus just 11% for the S&P 500. So over the last 2 years, still beating the S&P 500. And then we're going to finish with the best of the best, the best chart on the street, although now that I just saw UNH, it's a close race between those two for the best chart, but I'll call Visa the best today, and that is just phenomenal here. They actually have not missed since their 2008 IPO. So this is just perfection personified. They went IPO and they have never missed. Again, that's the past performance. Eventually they will miss. It'll be a big deal because investors just aren't used to it. But again, this is really good management telegraphing to the analysts and Wall Street what exactly they're doing and how the business is operating. Shares have come down a bit here in an unusual pullback. We've had a few little blip pullbacks over the last 5 years, but this is the biggest one in that time period, as you can see. Will this next earning report get it going again? We'll see, but this could be a possible buying opportunity for those of you who were, you know, quote unquote, waiting for a chance to get into Visa, as I know many of you have been doing. So these charts are basically an inspiration for those of us who watch and look at the earnings charts every single day and week. So these are some of the ones that, you know, again, are just really at the top of their game as far as the earnings surprises go, and really telegraphing through management and through good communication to the street what their business is doing. So if you like these charts and want to see more, I'll be showing you some other really good charts as well the rest of this earnings season. Some won't be quite as great or perfect as these, because again, it's getting a little harder to find some of the ones that have not missed in the last 5 years. But even 1 or 2 misses is still a tremendous track record. So I'll be covering all of those all earnings season long. You don't want to miss a single one. Go to Zacks.com or subscribe here on our YouTube channel to make sure you get all of these videos. And I'll be back with more earnings charts next week.